Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Whose house?
Welcome back to Season 2 of In the Game. We have plenty of new faces joining us this season, as we'll have different features throughout the semester.
Plenty of new cast and crew. We finally got a full crew going on, but let's jump right into it. Robertson Stadium, it's quiet now, but in a few hours it's going to be jam-packed and rocking for the start of the 2011 football season. And then in a couple of years, they're going to tear this whole place down and start building from the ground up, and that's going to be the launching point you got to figure for U of H looking to get in the Big 12.
I think actually this season, after this season ends, they'll tear down the Robertson Stadium and build up the new one. And also, like he said, Big 12, bigger conferences, the university is looking to get into it. We'll see what happens.
And really the only other school that's been shown public interest in joining the Big 12 is SMU, but you got to figure that U of H is ahead of them. If the U of H is interested, which they're obviously going to be, you got to figure they're going to be ahead of SMU if the Big 12 comes calling.
Yeah, and you have plenty of state legislators and senators and important people around Texas all giving their shout-outs to the university, saying they should be in the Big 12. We even got Forbes published a piece out this weekend about the University of Houston being the best choice for the Big 12.
But a question about the Big 12, A&M just sent in their paperwork that they're leaving. Oklahoma has just said that they're looking to possibly move too. Is the Big 12, though, a sinking ship? It seems that way.
It seems that way, too. There's a lot of talk about UT just go on the independent route. That would completely destroy the Big 12. University of Houston would need to find a new home, stay at Conference USA, or build the conference up, add those teams that will need homes for the Big 12.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of teams probably looking for new homes after these huge supposedly super conferences that they're talking about making.
Well, the University of Houston, while the new stadium's being built, they'll play their home games at Reliance Stadium. Also, the Bayou Bucket has signed a deal, both Rice and U of H to play 2 years worth of games at Reliance, so that'll be exciting for the city of Houston in general.
As you can see, we're from Robertson Stadium. It's going to be jam-packed here in a couple hours, but we're going to send out some highlights. There's more sports than just football going on, so let's send it out to some volleyball and soccer highlights.
Let's start with volleyball. Cougs looking to close out non-conference play with a win as Lamar comes into town. Caitlin Ogletree the set to Lucy Charek with a spike right down the middle. Lamar can't handle it. Charek with a game-high 15 kills. A little bit later on, Ogletree set again to Charek. This time just dinks it over for another point. In the third set now, Ogletree, another setup for the cross-court kill. Stephanie Wachuku there. Cougs sweep the Cardinals 3-0 to wrap up non-conference play and move to 7-3 on the year. Houston will open their CUSA schedule against rival Rice at Tudor Fieldhouse September 20th.
The Cougars had a rough opening to their season, losing their first 4 games. They came to Robertson Stadium looking for their first victory of the season against the LSU Tigers. Jessica Savalza added the only Cougar goal of the night, and Cami Koski, the Cougar goalkeeper, got 5 saves. It wasn't enough, however, as Boudreaux and Colleen Banks of the LSU Tigers scored. The Lady Cougs lost to the Tigers 2-1, and their record dropped to 0-5 in the season. But then they dominated TSU for their first win of the season. Here we see Alexis Weaver scoring the 3rd goal of the game in only the 4th minute. Jessica Zavalza takes the ball all by herself and then tears up the defense and gets the 4th goal of the game. Here we see her taking the control of the ball and another goal for the Cougs. Cougs now lead 5-0. Kayla Walker beats the defense, feeds it over to Kelsey Zamora, who shoots from outside the box and scores the 6th Cougar goal of the night. The Cougs kept dominating the game as Kylie Cook draws the penalty against the Texas Southern goalkeeper. Then Cook puts the 7th goal of the night for the Cougs in the back of the net. The Cougs were well on their way for their first win of the season. The Cougs ended up winning the game 9-0 when Kylie Cook fed the ball to Jessica Savalza, who scores the 9th goal of the night. the Cougs leave Robertson with their first win of the 2011 campaign.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll start with commentary, then we'll go with Priscilla for Fan Zone, and then we'll go with Priscilla again for an interview with soccer player Sammy Seiko, so don't go away.
All right, season opener 2011 for football. Case is coming back, obviously the big story. What are some things you're looking forward to in this game?
I'm looking forward to this high-powered offense. It's been ranked everywhere from Rivals to Yahoo to ESPN. We got 3 quarterbacks who are capable of running a game, and we got the 3-headed rushing attack.
Yeah, that's something I want to touch base on is 3 running backs that can do well out of the backfield rushing as well as receiving. You got Michael Hayes, the senior, coming back, showed what he can do. He scored a touchdown on his first touch last year against Texas State. Bryce Bell, 850 yards away from the career rushing title. And then you have Charles Sims who's coming back after an electric 2009 season, had to sit out 2010. I'm going to be interested to see how this offense manages to use 2 or sometimes maybe even all 3 of them on the field at one time.
I'm not expecting a lot from Sims today. Coach Shelton has said that he wants to keep his time limited as he comes back into a playing role. I expect to see a lot of Bryce today. A lot of talent.
Going back to Bryce, 850 yards away from the all-time U of H rushing title. With such a high-powered passing offense, does that surprise you at all?
Not at all. It's part of the passing offense. It opens up the ground game as well, and it works well off each other, and that's something Case works really well.
Obviously, the big story Case, so many records he can break. It starts today against UCLA.
Case has a chance to break the all-time passing records, touchdown records, and he can do it today if he goes crazy on some of them. We'll see what happens.
Aside from Case Keenum, give the people somebody to watch not only for this game but for the upcoming year.
I'm looking at the receiver, Tyrone Carrier. I'm expecting to see a big game for him. Look for triple-digit receiving yards.
Yeah, him and Patrick Edwards on both sides, but this is an offense that requires so much depth in the wide receiver position, and outside of those 2 guys, somebody else is going to have to step up, be it Justin Johnson or Izzard or Isaiah Sweeney. One of those guys is going to have to step up.
Yeah, also our defense has to step up. UCLA loves to run the football, and last year that was our biggest weakness on the defensive side, so we'll see how the defense reacts.
Yeah, Sammy Brown coming back, actually led the conference in tackles for loss last year. A lot of people don't know that. And then the 2 guys I'm looking forward to watching, not only for this game but all year, are the 2 junior college transfers from Navarro, defending junior college national champions. 2 guys from the secondary that are going to help out this defense. Chevy Bennett, DJ Hayden, look for them to not only impact this game, to impact all year. They expect to come in and start right away. They're going to help shore up that defense.
Also, it'd be nice if we can get a little more heat going so UCLA is not used to that heat. We practice in it day in, day out, and just looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, not exactly as hot as we thought it would be. Is that going to play as big a factor as everyone seems to think it is?
Right now, it is 3 hours game time. It's about 90 degrees. Hopefully, we can pick up another 2 degrees by then, and it'll help our team out a lot.
Yeah, so much wind though. We don't want those California boys to be too comfortable out there.
Yeah, this feels a lot more like Southern California weather than it does Texas weather. We hope it's changing.
All right, make prediction. What's the final score today?
Final score 50 Cougars, 25 UCLA.
Wow, that is very high, and you expect that. I think best case scenario, not only for this game but all for the entire year, is Case Keenum reverts back to that 2009 year where he put up 5,600 yards passing. If worst case scenario, he struggles like he did kind of in 2010. He never really got into his groove. So I think, as usual, this team's success is going to depend on Case Keenum.
Well, with Case, it's all about expectations. He is a dark horse in the Heisman race. We'll see how he reacts to that one more year.
Yeah. All right, well, that will do it. We'll send it out to Priscilla Riojas for our Fan Zone segment.